I still don't understand, Ethan. Why are you saying this now? My voice cracked as I clutched the edge of the table, my engagement ring glinting under the soft light. He leaned back, his smile sharp, almost cruel. Because it's time you knew the truth, Isabella. You were never my equal. You were convenient. Convenient? The word stung. I stared at him, my chest tightening. After 5 years, that's all I was? His eyes flicked down to my shaking hands. You're emotional. That's always been your problem. You fall apart too easily. That's why you could never stand beside me. I gave you everything I had, I whispered, though my voice grew louder with each word. I supported your career, your late nights, your empty promises. And now you're telling me it meant nothing? Ethan's laugh was hollow. It meant something for me, for my rise. But you were never meant to last. You don't have what it takes to live in my world. I felt my throat burn. Then why propose to me? Why pretend? He shrugged, unbothered. Because it looked good. A stable man with a devoted fiancé? Investors loved that. My parents were thrilled. You played your role well. My hand trembled as I pressed it against my chest. So I was just a prop? Yes, he said simply, leaning forward. His eyes gleamed with arrogance. And now your role is over. You're not enough, Isabella. You never were. Silence filled the room, heavier than his words. My pulse roared in my ears. You're wrong. I managed. I may have been blind, but I'm not worthless. Ethan tilted his head, mocking. Then prove it. Go ahead. Walk out of here and show me. But we both know you can't survive without me. The audacity made my voice rise. Survive without you? I've been surviving because of me, Ethan. Not because of your crumbs of attention. His smirk faltered for a second, but he quickly regained it. You really think you can stand on your own in this industry? Without my connections, my name, my power? You'll be forgotten in a week. The pain twisted into anger. I'd rather be forgotten than chained to someone like you. He exhaled sharply, standing. Don't make this dramatic. Be grateful for what you got. You lived in my world for 5 years. Most women would have killed for that chance. I couldn't breathe. My heart felt crushed under the weight of his words. I loved you, I said, softer now, almost to myself. And you destroyed that without hesitation. He gave a careless shrug. Love doesn't win contracts. Love doesn't build empires. Power does. And you, Isabella, you were never powerful. Tears blurred my vision, but I refused to let them fall in front of him. I forced my voice steady. Someday, Ethan, you regret this. Doubtful, he muttered, reaching for his coat. As he slipped it on, I stared at the engagement ring on my finger. My hands shook as I pulled it off and let it fall onto the table with a dull clink. Take it. It never meant what I thought it did. He paused at the door, his back to me. Goodbye, Isabella. The door closed. Silence crashed around me. I sank into the chair, clutching my chest as if it could stop the ache spreading inside me. His words repeated in my head, stabbing deeper each time. You're not enough. You never were. The tears finally fell. My body shook, but in the middle of my heartbreak, something inside me whispered, this isn't the end. One day, he'll see what I'm worth. That night, I realized the people closest to you can cut the deepest wounds. The apartment door creaked as I stepped inside, my body drained. I didn't expect anyone, but a voice called out, Isa. I froze. Lena? She appeared from the kitchen, arms crossed, eyes narrowing. Where have you been? You look destroyed. The lump in my throat grew. He ended it. My voice broke, and the tears I held back all evening finally spilled. Lena rushed over, pulling me into her arms. What do you mean ended it? Ethan? I nodded against her shoulder. He said I was nothing, just a prop for his career. Her grip tightened. That bastard. Tell me everything. I pulled back, wiping my face with shaky hands. We were supposed to be planning our wedding. Instead, he sat there and told me I was convenient, that I never mattered, that I wasn't enough. Lena's eyes darkened, her voice sharp. He actually said that? To your face? Yes. My voice cracked. He made me feel like I was disposable, like I never meant anything. She paced, anger radiating off her. I always knew he had a cold side, but this is evil. Isa, you can't let his words define you. I sat heavily on the couch, but they do. They're stuck in my head. Every time I close my eyes, I hear him. Lena crouched in front of me, gripping my hands. Listen to me. You are brilliant, kind, stronger than you realize. Ethan couldn't see it because he's blinded by greed. That's not your failure, it's his. I shook my head. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like I wasted 5 years of my life for nothing. She squeezed my hands harder. No, you gave love, loyalty, and time. That wasn't nothing. It shows who you are. And one day, he'll choke on the regret of losing you. Her words made my chest ache, but a tiny spark lit inside me. You really think he'll regret it? Oh, he will. Her jaw tightened. Men like him always do when the mask falls and they have no one left to use. And when that day comes, you'll be standing tall. I bit my lip, whispering, I don't feel tall right now. I feel broken. Lena's voice softened. You're allowed to feel broken, but don't mistake this moment for the end. It's the start of something else. You just don't see it yet. Silence stretched between us. My tears slowed as her words sank in. Finally, I whispered, he really thought I couldn't survive without him. Lena let out a sharp laugh. Survive without him? Please, you'll do more than survive. You'll rise so high he won't even be able to look you in the eye. I exhaled shakily, leaning against her shoulder. I don't know how yet, but I want that. I want him to see me standing without him. Then promise me something, she said, steady and fierce. Promise me you'll never believe his lies again. Promise me you'll fight back, in your own way. I nodded slowly. I promise. That night, with Lena's arms around me, the vow settled deep inside. He thought I was nothing. One day, he would regret underestimating me. The office was unusually quiet when I walked in. Still, I felt every stare. Did you hear? Someone whispered near the break room. She begged him not to leave. Another voice snickered. My stomach twisted. I forced myself forward, heels clicking against the floor. To my desk. I set my bag down, but a coworker leaned over. Rough weekend, Isabella? His tone was mocking. I clenched my jaw. Do you have something useful to say, Mark? He smirked. Only that not everyone gets dumped in such dramatic fashion. Heat rose to my face. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I think we do, he said. Ethan made sure we did. I froze. What? Before he could reply, Mr. Hamilton's voice called from his office. Isabella, a word please. I walked in, closing the door behind me. Yes, sir, he sighed, avoiding my eyes. I've been hearing things about you and Ethan. I swallowed hard. With respect, my personal life shouldn't affect my work. It's not just personal, he said quietly. Ethan claims you've been unstable, distracted, even sabotaging the project you two worked on. I felt my chest tighten. That's a lie. He's the one who interfered with my files. Mr. Hamilton shifted uncomfortably. Ethan is respected. He has a clean record. The board believes him. Anger flared. So you'll take his word over mine? He rubbed his temples. Isabella, I'm under pressure. The clients are unhappy. The board is restless. I can't risk more complications. I leaned forward, my voice sharp. I've given this company everything. Late nights, weekends, sacrifices. And you think I'd throw it all away out of spite? His silence was answer enough. My hands curled into fists. You don't believe me. He sighed again. I don't know what to believe, but I suggest you keep a low profile. Don't draw attention to yourself. The words cut deeper than I expected. So you want me invisible while he destroys me? Don't put it that way, he muttered. I laughed bitterly. How else should I put it? He lies, and you nod. He smears my name, and you look away. Mr. Hamilton shifted in his chair. Isabella, you're emotional right now. I stood abruptly. Don't you dare call me emotional like it makes me weak. I know exactly what Ethan is doing. His voice dropped, nervous. Then prove it. Otherwise, I can't protect you. My throat tightened. You never planned to protect me. The silence between us screamed louder than any answer. I walked out, every eye in the office following me. Whispers trailed behind like smoke. She begged him to stay. She's losing it. She's finished. I wanted to scream at them, to tear down every lie Ethan had planted, but I forced myself to keep walking. My heels hit the floor with steady rhythm, though my heart raced. At my desk, Lena messaged me. Lunch? You okay? I typed back quickly. Not now. He's spreading lies. Her reply came fast. Then fight back. Don't let him own the story. I stared at the words, the sting of humiliation burning in my chest. I whispered to myself, fight back. But how? The office buzzed with laughter, whispers, judgment. My reputation was collapsing, brick by brick, under Ethan's lies. I kept my head high, but inside, I was crumbling. Isabella, can I see you in the conference room? Mr. Hamilton's voice was tight, My stomach sank as I walked in. Several board members sat around the table, their faces grim. "What's going on?" I asked, forcing calm. Hamilton cleared his throat. "The Crestwell deal has collapsed. The client pulled out this morning." My eyes widened. "Collapsed? That's impossible." I finalized every detail myself. The contract was ready. One of the board members slid papers toward me. The documents we received were incomplete. Critical clauses were missing. I flipped through the pages, my hands shaking. "No, that's not right." I checked every line twice. Hamilton shifted uncomfortably. "Ethan brought this to our attention. He says you've been distracted, that you rushed the process." My chest burned. "He's lying. He must have altered these files." Another board member frowned. "Are you accusing Ethan of sabotage?" "Yes." I slammed the papers down. "I know my work. I know what I submitted. He had access, he could have tampered with them." Hamilton sighed, rubbing his temples. "Isabella, please. This isn't the time for wild accusations. The client has already withdrawn. The damage is done." I stared at him, disbelief choking me. "So you're just going to blame me?" He looked at the others, then back at me. "You are the lead on this project. Responsibility falls on your shoulders." My breath caught. "Everything I built? Gone because you're too afraid to call him out." Hamilton's voice dropped. "Enough. Pack up for the day. We'll discuss your future here later." I felt the eyes of the board piercing me as I gathered my notes. My legs shook, but I forced myself to walk out. In the hallway, Mark smirked. "Tough break, Isapare. Guess Ethan was right about you." I snapped. "Shut up." My voice cracked. But I didn't stop. At my desk, Lena called. I answered with trembling hands. "He ruined me, Lena. He destroyed my project." Her voice sharpened. "What happened?" "The Crestwell deal collapsed. He tampered with the documents. Everyone thinks I'm incompetent now." She cursed under her breath. "That snake. And Hamilton's siding with him?" "Yes," I whispered. "They're all siding with him." Silence. Then her voice hardened. "So what are you going to do?" I pressed my forehead against the desk. "Right now, I want to scream. I want to rip every trace of him out of my life, then do it." She said, "Don't let him break you. You're not powerless." I closed my eyes, Ethan's words echoing. "You're not enough. You never were." "I don't know how yet," I admitted. "But I swear to you, Lena, he won't win. Not like this." She breathed out slowly. "That's the Issa I know. Hold onto that fire." I hung up, standing shakily. Whispers followed me as I walked toward the exit. I ignored them, every step heavy but deliberate. Outside, the cold air slapped my skin. My career, my pride, my future all shredded in one sweep by the man I once loved. But under the humiliation, something fierce stirred. Ethan wanted me powerless. He would soon learn I wasn't done. The caf was half empty when I sat down, clutching a lukewarm cup I didn't plan to drink. My phone buzzed with another cruel headline. "Isabella Gray from rising star to ruin. Rough week?" A voice asked. I looked up. A man in a dark suit stood across from me, sharp eyes studying me. "Excuse me?" He smiled faintly. "Adrian Black." The name clicked instantly. "Black Enterprises? The one and only." He slid into the chair opposite me without asking. "I hear you've had trouble." I narrowed my eyes. "And you just happen to care?" "I care when Ethan Cole is involved," he said smoothly. "I've seen his tricks before. He's sloppy when he thinks he's invincible." My chest tightened. "So you know what he did to me?" Adrian tilted his head. "I know he sabotaged Crestwell. I know he's spreading lies about you. And I know you're smarter than the picture he's painting." I stiffened. "Then why are you here? To gloat? Or to recruit a fallen rival?" His smirk deepened. "Neither. I'm here to offer you a chance." I laughed bitterly. "A chance? Adrian? I've lost everything. My project, my reputation, my career." "Not everything," he interrupted. His voice was calm, deliberate. "You still have your mind, your skills, and the kind of determination people like Ethan can't kill, no matter how hard they try." I leaned back, crossing my arms. "You make it sound like you know me." "I know the type," he said simply. "People like you don't stay down. They fight back. And when they do, they're dangerous." My pulse quickened. "And what? You want me to fight back with you?" "Yes." He didn't hesitate. "Join me. Work with me. Let me show you how to dismantle him piece by piece." Suspicion coiled in my gut. Why help me? What's in it for you? Adrian's eyes glinted. Ethan has been a thorn in my side for years. You know his weaknesses better than anyone. Together, we could end his little empire. I studied him, searching for cracks in his confidence. So I'm just another weapon for you to use. He chuckled. Call it what you want. But ask yourself this, don't you want to see him fall? My throat tightened. More than anything. Then stop hesitating. His voice dropped lower, steady as stone. You have two choices, Isabella. You can drown in humiliation while Ethan celebrates, or you can stand up and make him choke on every word he threw at you. Silence pressed between us. His words struck something raw inside me. Finally, I whispered, and if I trust you, how do I know you won't betray me too? Adrian leaned forward, his gaze unwavering. Because betrayal is Ethan's game, not mine. I don't waste allies. I sharpen them. My fingers curled around the cup, knuckles white. You sound so sure of me. I am, he said firmly. You're not broken, Isabella. You're untested. There's a difference. My chest rose with a shaky breath. For the first time since Ethan's betrayal, the darkness felt less suffocating. I met Adrian's eyes. All right, show me how. His smile was razor sharp. Good, let's begin. For the first time, I saw a way out of the ruins Ethan left me in. Adrian's office smelled faintly of leather and strong coffee. Files stacked high on his desk looked more like weapons than paperwork. He leaned back in his chair, eyes sharp. Rule 1, he said, never walk into a deal begging. Confidence is half the contract. I crossed my arms. Easier said than done when everyone thinks I'm a fraud. He smirked. Then make them believe otherwise. Perception is negotiable. I raised a brow. You really think I can just flip a switch? No, he said, leaning forward. I think you can light a fire, but you'll have to let yourself burn first. His words stung. So you're saying I'm weak? I'm saying you're wounded, he corrected. But wounds harden into armor if you let them. I exhaled sharply. Fine, then teach me how to wear it. He slid a folder across the desk. Mock contract. You negotiate with me. Convince me to sign. I skimmed the pages. All right? I straightened my shoulders. Mr. Black, if you want exclusivity, then you'll need to increase the base by 15%. Otherwise, I walk. His smile was almost predatory. Weak. You didn't justify the demand. Heat rushed to my cheeks. Then no excuses, he interrupted. Back it up with numbers, projections, or leverage. Emotion doesn't close deals, leverage does. I bit back a groan. So try again? Always. I recalculated in my head. Your competitors offer lower rates, but they can't deliver my timeline. If you want results fast, you'll pay the premium. Otherwise, you'll lose 3 months and double the cost fixing mistakes. He tapped his pen against the desk, eyes narrowing. Better. But you flinched when you said it. Do it again without the hesitation. I repeated the line, firmer this time. Good, he said at last. That's leverage. That's control. I allowed myself a small smile. So I passed? Barely. His grin made my stomach twist with reluctant amusement. But you'll get sharper. The next day he pushed harder. We sparred over mock negotiations until my throat was raw. Every slip, he pounced on. You blinked, he said flatly. I blinked because you're impossible. I shot back, he chuckled. And Ethan counts on people thinking he's impossible. Stop reacting. Start dictating. I threw my pen down. Do you ever let up? No, he said simply. Because your enemy won't. Something in his tone froze me. He wasn't just teaching. He was preparing me for war. By the third week, I noticed a shift. My voice no longer cracked. My hands no longer trembled. One evening, after another brutal session, I slumped in my chair. Why are you doing this? Really? Adrian studied me in silence before answering. Because I see someone Ethan underestimated, and nothing infuriates me more than wasted potential. His certainty rattled me. What if I fail anyway? Then you fail forward, he said firmly. But you won't. You've already stopped being his victim. That's the hardest step. I stared at the city lights beyond his office window. For months, all I had seen was darkness. Now, flickers of possibility returned. I whispered, I'm not just Ethan's ex anymore. No, Adrian said, his voice steady. You're Isabella Gray. Remember that name, it's about to mean something again. Something inside me tightened, not in pain, but in resolve. I wasn't broken glass scattered on the floor. I was steel, reforged in fire. I sat up straighter. Alright, what's next? Adrian's smirk returned. Now, we build your empire. The boardroom hummed with tension, the air thick with perfume, polished wood, and false smiles. Adrian sat at my right, calm as ever. Across the table, Ethan lounged in his chair, arrogance painted on his face. He smirked. Well, Isabella, I didn't expect you here. Shouldn't you be licking your wounds? I met his gaze evenly. I'm here to negotiate, and this time, I'm not the one begging. Adrian's voice cut in smoothly. Shall we get to business? Time is valuable. Ethan's eyes flicked between us. Business? You think she belongs in this room? She couldn't even keep her last project alive. I leaned forward. That deal collapsed because someone sabotaged it. Funny how you always show up after the fire's already started. A flicker passed across his face, gone in an instant. Accusations won't save you. Neither will underestimating me, I said, sliding the contract across the table. Here's my offer. He skimmed the pages, then laughed. This is absurd. You want equity? Access to the international wing? That's not happening. Then walk away, I replied calmly. But your competitors won't. They'll pay double for what I'm offering. His jaw tightened. You don't have the leverage. I smiled. Don't I? The market reports say otherwise. Or maybe you haven't been keeping up, Adrian added. We've already lined up to firms interested. Ethan, this is her offer to you first out of courtesy. Decline, and she moves forward without you. Ethan slammed the folder shut. You're bluffing. I met his glare without flinching. Test me. For the first time, he hesitated. His trademark smirk faltered. He leaned back, forcing a laugh that rang hollow. Fine, you've learned a trick or two, but don't think you're suddenly untouchable. I don't need to be untouchable, I said. I just need to be stronger than the man who tried to bury me. His nostrils flared. Still bitter, Isabella? Still clinging to grudges? I tilted my head. No, I'm clinging to opportunity. And you just realized you're running out of it. Silence stretched, heavy and uncomfortable for him. My pulse raced, but I didn't look away. Finally, he shoved the contract back toward me. I'll consider it, but if you think this little stunt puts you on my level, you're delusional. Adrian's voice was like steel wrapped in silk. She's not on your level, Ethan. She's past it. Ethan's glare darted between us, suspicion sharpening in his eyes. So that's it, you're hiding behind him now? I shook my head. No, I'm standing beside him. There's a difference. Something you never understood. The words hit harder than I expected. Ethan's fod cracked, his knuckles whitening against the table. For once, he had no clever retort. I rose from my seat, gathering the contract. We'll be in touch. Unless, of course, you're too afraid to compete. Ethan leaned forward, voice low and venomous. You're playing a dangerous game, Isabella. I met his threat with steady calm. Good. I like dangerous. Adrian stood with me, his presence like a silent wall of strength. Together we walked toward the door. Behind us, Ethan's voice followed, brittle with anger. This isn't over. I paused at the doorway, glancing back one last time. No, Ethan, it's just beginning. As the door shut behind me, adrenaline surged through my veins. For the first time, his power didn't feel absolute. For the first time, I felt taller. Adrian leaned close, murmuring so only I could hear. You handled him well. I allowed myself a small, victorious smile. He doesn't know it yet, but the board just shifted. His empire isn't as untouchable as he thinks, and neither was I. Adrian slid a newspaper across the caf table. Front page. Ethan's latest deal collapsed. Investors are pulling out. I traced the bold headline, a thrill running through me. Finally, people are seeing him for what he really is. Adrian smirked. It seems the mask is slipping. My phone buzzed on the table. Ethan's name flashed across the screen. I let it ring untouched. Adrian raised an eyebrow. Not answering? No, I said firmly. He doesn't deserve my voice anymore. Minutes later, another call. Then another. Each ignored one fed my resolve. Adrian leaned back, studying me. You realize silence can be louder than war? I do, I said, watching his name vanish from the display. He thrived when I reacted. Now, he gets nothing. The next day at the office, whispers filled the corridors. A junior associate rushed to me. Miss Gray, did you hear? Ethan lost the Whitman account. They pulled out last night. I forced a calm smile. I heard. She lowered her voice. People say he manipulated numbers. Clients don't trust him anymore. I nodded, heart pounding with vindication. Truth has a way of catching up. Later, Ethan cornered me in the lobby. His eyes were bloodshot, his suit unkempt. Isabella, please, just hear me out. I held my ground. Step aside, Ethan. I have nothing to say to you. His voice cracked. They're abandoning me because of lies. You know me. You know I wouldn't. I cut him off. I know exactly who you are. And the world finally does too. He reached for my arm, desperation clouding his face. Don't do this. Don't turn everyone against me. I pulled back sharply. You did that yourself. The elevator doors opened, saving me from his pleading. As they closed, I saw his shoulders sag, his confidence bleeding out. That night, Adrian called. He showed up at my office today, tried to strike a deal. I laughed bitterly. He's drowning. He'll grab any hand, even the one that pushed him under. Adrian chuckled. I told him no. Watching him squirm was satisfying. I stared at the city skyline through my window, the lights flickering like promises. For years, I thought I needed his validation. Now, his downfall feels like closure. Adrian's tone softened. Closure? Or victory? Both, I whispered. The following week, more rumors spread: embezzlement, broken contracts, unpaid debts. Each headline stripped Ethan of the invincibility he once flaunted. Allies he had counted on distanced themselves, leaving him isolated. One afternoon, he called again. I let it ring, my chest steady, my heart unshaken. Adrian texted me minutes later. He's finished. It's only a matter of time. I typed back. Good. Let him taste the silence he forced on me. For the first time in months, I breathed freely. Justice didn't roar, it whispered. And my silence was the loudest sound Ethan would ever hear. I tossed restlessly, the glow of my phone screen burning my eyes. Messages from Adrian lit up. You should sleep. Tomorrow's deal matters. I typed back. Sleep doesn't come easy anymore. Minutes later, his name flashed again, this time a call. Why are you awake? He asked, his voice steady. I can't shut it off, I admitted. Every headline about Ethan makes me feel alive and guilty at the same time. Guilty? He pressed. Yes. Like I'm feeding on his downfall instead of focusing on my own rise. Adrian was quiet for a moment. Power without peace is empty, Isabella. You're strong, but you're not sleeping. That tells me something. I sighed, staring at the ceiling. Maybe I'm becoming him. You're not, Adrian said firmly. He manipulated. You're defending. Still, his reassurance didn't erase the knot in my chest. The next morning, Lena stormed into my apartment with coffee. You look awful. Thanks, I muttered. She dropped the cups on the counter. You're drowning in this, Bella. Revenge is eating you alive. I rubbed my temples. I just want him to pay for everything. And what about you? She shot back. When was the last time you laughed? When was the last time you did something for yourself? I tried to answer, but nothing came. Lena softened. I love you, but you're disappearing. Ethan doesn't deserve that. Her words stung because they were true. Later that afternoon, Adrian met me in his office. He leaned against his desk, arms folded. You've won half the battle already, but you're chasing the other half like it'll fix everything. It won't. I looked at him sharply. So what? I should stop? Walk away while he still breathes easy? His gaze locked on mine. No, I'm saying choose what peace looks like for you. Destroying him won't fill the hole he left. I clenched my fists. Then why does it feel so good? Because anger gives adrenaline, he said, but adrenaline burns out. And when it's gone, what's left? His words rattled inside me. That evening, Ethan's number flashed on my phone again. My finger hovered over decline. For the first time, I almost answered. Not out of forgiveness, but out of exhaustion. I whispered to myself, what do I really want? The phone stopped ringing, leaving silence heavier than his voice. The next day, Lena called me during lunch. Promise me something, she said. What? When this ends, whether he crashes or climbs, you'll still recognize yourself. I don't want to lose you to the fight. I swallowed hard. I promise I'll try. Adrian joined me later that night. He set 2 glasses of wine on my table. To victories, he said. I didn't lift mine. Adrian, what if victory isn't destroying him? What if it's walking away? He studied me, his eyes sharp but softened by understanding. Then walk, and I'll back you. But if you choose to finish him, know the cost. And the cost is me. I whispered. Yes, he said quietly. I stared at the untouched wine, my reflection distorted in the glass. My chest ached, not from lost this time, but from the war inside me. For the first time, I wasn't sure which enemy was greater, Ethan, or the bitterness growing inside my own heart. The knock on my door was hesitant, nothing like the man I once knew. I opened it and froze. Ethan stood there, shoulders slumped, eyes hollow. Isabella, please. I need to talk. My instinct screamed to slam the door, but curiosity kept me still. You've got 30 seconds. He stepped inside cautiously, like a man entering enemy territory. I don't even know where to start. Try with the truth, I said coldly. His hands trembled. I ruined everything. My career, my alliances, it's all slipping away. And it's my fault. I crossed my arms. That's new. You admitting fault. He winced. I was greedy. I thought I could have it all: money, power, even you waiting while I climbed higher. But I lost myself. And I lost you. A bitter laugh escaped me. You didn't lose me, Ethan. You threw me away. His eyes watered. I know. And I regret it every damn day. The sight of him broken almost softened me, but memories of betrayal seared through. Regret doesn't erase what you did. He stepped closer. Do you ever think about us? About what we had before I destroyed it? I held his gaze. Yes. And then I think about the night you told me I was nothing without you. That's what I remember most. His voice cracked. I didn't mean it. I was scared of failing. You were rising while I was terrified of falling. I lashed out because you were the one person who saw through me. For a moment, silence filled the room. His confession cut deeper than I wanted to admit. You're right, I whispered. I did see through you. I saw your ambition, your hunger, your weakness. And still, I loved you. He dropped to his knees. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I'm begging you, please, don't hate me. The sight twisted my chest. Once, I would have done anything to hear him admit his flaws. Now, it felt too late. I don't hate you, I said finally, his eyes lit with desperate hope. Then maybe, but I'll never forgive you. I cut in. My voice shook, but my resolve didn't. Some scars don't heal. Some betrayals never fade. He stared at me, broken, as if the last thread holding him snapped. I just wanted a chance, he whispered. You had it, I said firmly. And you destroyed it. He rose slowly, his shoulders heavier than when he arrived. Without another word, he walked to the door. I didn't stop him. When the door clicked shut, I leaned against it, my heart pounding. For the first time, I saw Ethan not as a monster, but as a man crumbling under his own choices. And yet, no matter how shattered he was, I knew one truth: his desperation would never repair what he broke inside me. The contract lay flat on the table, the final page waiting for me. My pen hovered, my hand steady yet heavy with meaning. Ethan sat across from me, his jaw clenched, eyes dark and restless. You don't have to do this, he muttered. I smirked. Don't I? After everything, you expect me to hesitate now? His voice cracked. This isn't just business. You know what signing that paper means. It erases me. Then maybe it's fitting, I said. You erased me once, remember? His fists tightened. I was wrong. I've admitted that. But if you sign, you're no better than me. I leaned forward, letting my voice cut sharp. The difference is, I don't destroy people for sport. I do this because you left me no choice. He laughed bitterly. You're lying to yourself. This is revenge, nothing else. Call it what you want, I said firmly. I call it justice. Adrian's calm voice broke through the tension. Isabella, the decision is yours. One stroke, and it's final. Don't let him rattle you. I nodded slightly. Ethan's eyes darted between us, desperate. Listen to me, he pleaded. You think this will give you peace? It won't. It'll haunt you. His words tugged at something deep inside me, but I refused to show it. You don't get to lecture me about peace, Ethan. You forfeited that right years ago. He slammed his hand on the table. Damn it, Isabella. I gave you everything. No, I snapped, my voice rising. You gave me scars. You gave me nights I couldn't breathe. You gave me silence when I begged for love. That's what you gave me. His face faltered, guilt bleeding through his arrogance. I was scared. I thought power would protect me. But I see now I was nothing without you. I exhaled slowly, forcing my emotions into steel. And now you'll learn what nothing truly feels like. My hand lowered toward the page. Ethan's voice turned frantic. Don't, please. I'll walk away. I'll give you whatever you want. Just don't sign it. I paused, meeting his eyes. What I want is for you to know how it feels to lose everything that made you untouchable. He shook his head, whispering, "You regret this. I already regret ever believing in you." I replied coldly. Adrian slid the pen closer to me. "It's time." The room felt heavy, like the air itself held its breath. I pressed the pen to the page. "Isabella, wait," Ethan's voice cracked. "Don't end me like this. Please. You loved me once. Doesn't that mean anything?" For a brief moment, my chest ached. Memories flickered, laughter, stolen kisses, dreams whispered in the dark. But then the memory of his betrayal burned them all away. "It means I know exactly who I'm ending," I said. With one steady stroke, I signed my name. The silence that followed was deafening. Adrian reached for the contract, his expression composed, almost solemn. Ethan stared at the signature as if it were a blade through his chest. His lips parted, but no words came. I stood, pushing back my chair. "This isn't revenge, Ethan. It's liberation." He looked at me with hollow eyes, the last fragments of his empire crumbling in that silence. I turned and walked out of the room, my steps steady, my heart strangely calm. For the first time, I felt free, not because Ethan had lost, but because I had finally chosen myself. The cold night wrapped around me, sharp against my skin. City lights flickered like scattered stars, and for the first time, I didn't feel small beneath them. Lena's voice cut through the silence. "You did it," I exhaled, watching my breath cloud the air. "Yeah, it's over." She studied me carefully. "Is it? You don't look triumphant." "I'm not sure triumph is the word," I admitted. "It feels lighter, like something's finally unchained." Adrian stepped closer, his tone calm. "Because you didn't just end Ethan, you reclaimed yourself." I nodded slowly, the weight of his words sinking in. For years, I thought he decided who I was. Tonight, I realized he never had that power. Lena smirked faintly. "Took you long enough to see it." I laughed softly, shaking my head. "Guess I had to be shattered first." Her hand squeezed my arm. "But you're not shattered anymore." I glanced at the street where cars rushed past, people laughing in the distance, the world moving forward as if nothing monumental had just shifted. Funny, isn't it? His whole empire fell apart, but the city doesn't even notice. "That's the truth of power," Adrian said. "It feels absolute until it vanishes. Then it's nothing but dust." I tilted my head. "Do you think he'll recover? Does it matter?" Lena asked sharply. I paused. "No, not anymore." She smiled knowingly. "Good. That's the woman I wanted to see, one who doesn't look back." I met her eyes. "I wasted years looking back. Tonight I only see forward." Adrian leaned against the railing. "So what's forward, Isabella? Revenge is behind you now. What do you choose next?" The question lingered in the air. I pressed my hand against the chill metal, grounding myself. "Peace," I whispered. "For once, I want peace." Lena chuckled. "Peace and you? That's new." I smiled. "Maybe, but I've fought enough wars in my own heart. I'm ready for quiet victories." Adrian's gaze softened. "Then you've already won." Silence settled between us, comfortable this time. I could almost feel the past loosening its grip. "Do you regret it?" Lena asked suddenly. "The signature?" I asked. She nodded. I took a long breath. "No, I don't regret ending his reign. I only regret ever giving him the power to define me." Her eyes glistened. "That's not who you are anymore." "No," I said firmly. "It's not." I lifted my chin to the sky. The stars seemed brighter, though maybe it was just me finally noticing them. "Ethan thought he broke me," I murmured. "But all he did was force me to rebuild stronger." Adrian gave a faint smile. "And that strength no one can take it now." I let his words settle inside me, not as comfort but as truth. Lena nudged me gently. "So, Isabella, where do we celebrate your rebirth?" I laughed, a genuine laugh this time. "Anywhere far away from boardrooms and contracts." She grinned. "Then let's start walking." I took one final glance at the skyline, the city that had watched me break, fight, and rise again. My scars were still mine, but so was my freedom. I turned from the past and stepped into the night, each stride carrying me further from him and closer to myself.